Well, this is probably going to be the last book haul for a couple of months, but don't worry, they'll probably be back. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew, and today we are doing my last book haul for a little bit because I am saving up to buy a camera and possibly some new lighting. We'll see what happens. I just had a light burn out, and yeah, so you can kind of see some shadow over here, some light over here. Anyway, before we get into this book haul, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow, and you can check the description box down below for links to all my social media, including the Wizards Enclave Discord, my Pango books if you want to help support what I do here, be that help buying a camera, lighting, general support, what have you, it's always greatly appreciated, and my Pango books if you want to buy anything that I've removed from my collection. And that said, guys, like I said, I do have some pre-orders out. I got a lot of Kickstarter editions out as well. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing a book haul next month. If I do a book haul after this, it will be a small book haul of just strictly special editions, unless you guys use my Amazon wishlist, which I also have in the description box down below, to send me books. Otherwise, I'm just not going to be spending a lot of money on books to justify a book haul. But I do have some books here. I have been slightly irresponsible. Just kind of an update. I am kind of about halfway saved up to buying the camera. So we're about at that 50% mark, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let's see, books. You guys want to see me talk about what books I bought. So I'm going to start off with a banger. And I don't want to drop this. I got His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, the Folio Society edition. These are beautifully cloth bound with just tons of detail. I read this book as a kid, or this series I should say as a kid, so I've read these. I've started from the back. I did this last time when I talked about these in a recent video that will either be out or should be coming out. But they are illustrated. They are gorgeous. They are amazing, and they are totally worth it. We got the subtle knife right there. Last one was Umber Spyglass. Again, more illustrations. These feel amazing in the hand. I love Folio Society. It is becoming a bit of an addiction. I know that they have the Books of Dust in this format as well, and I will probably, because I'm planning these for a 2024 reread of the series, and then after that I will probably pick up the Books of Dust in the Folio edition as well, if that reread goes particularly well. Let's see. I was then sent these two copies with no pressure from the author to get to them anytime soon, but I want to get to them soon. I've even added like the next 3 or 4 to my Amazon wish list, just because I'm sure I'm gonna like it. I've been really vibing with Assassin Fantasy here lately. We have got Andy Pelequin's Darkblade Assassin, and we've got Andy Pelequin's Queen of Thieves #1, Child of the Night Guild, there we go, with the new cover art. This is the Kickstarter edition cover. It's not the Kickstarter edition, it's the Kickstarter cover. There we go. And he said recently that as he kind of does the subsequent Kickstarters, that the covers on the paperbacks will be getting updated. So I look forward to having that on the shelf as well. I've been loving my Assassin Fantasy here lately, and I am just here for it. I'm adding 3 more Stephen Kings to the collection because I found 3 great Stephen Kings in fantastic condition. I found If It Bleeds, which is, I believe, the latest collection. Came out a few years ago, but I'd never seen the hardcover, and then all of a sudden, hardcover started popping up out of nowhere. Like, I hadn't seen the hardcover since, like, it was released. And so I found this one at my local half-priced books, and I went ahead and picked it up. I think that I wanted that one especially because of the Holly story. There's a Holly novella in that one, and I just want to be able to read that entire kind of sub-series of Stephen King's work, and so now I have it. And then I picked up Skeleton Crew because I read Night Shift last year, and it's been a while since I did a short story collection, and I've got different seasons, and I meant to move on to Skeleton Crew and just never did. So I need to go ahead and get that one read. It's going to be great. And then because I found it in great condition, I picked up Hearts in Atlantis as well. So these are all collection additions to my Stephen King library, and I am here for it. Then I had Nico come into town early this month, and of course we had to go to a bookstore. And he got me the Chronicles of Prydain by Lloyd Alexander. He said he really loved this, and it was very formative in his fantasy kind of upcoming. And so he got me a copy and said, I want you to read this. And I was like, all right, I'll get to it sometime here soon. It's a book club edition, but like finding a good like collector's edition or standard set of this is almost impossible. So we've got that in the collection now. I then picked up Hills of Heather and Bone by K.E. Andrews. I just finished yesterday The Assassin of Grin's Secrets at like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I had to have the next book that K.E. Andrews put out. I've picked up the other two digitally as well. I'll pop those right there. No, I picked up one digitally, so I'll pop that right there. The name escapes me, but it's a novella. So this is Hills of Heather and Bone. I don't really know what it's all about, but it's, let's see, The Bones of the Dead Hold Stories. Great cover, and I need more K.E. Andrews because her writing is amazing. So we've got that. I then, of course, picked up Josiah Bancroft's, let's see if I can get the light to stop reflecting, The Hexologist. This is his new book. I read all 4 of the Books of Babel. I really, really enjoyed those. And this is supposed to be more of like a period mystery with some fantasy elements, and I'm here for it. Also, surprisingly short. I would love to get to this sometime in the winter or early spring. I don't quite know yet, but I'm very, very excited for it. And then, of course, because I loved the Alex Verey series, I had to pick up Benedict Jacka's Inheritance of Magic. This is the start of his new series. No idea what it's about. I just saw Benedict Jacka and went, yeah, okay. So that's An Inheritance of Magic. The UK cover, I think, is a little bit better. And I wish I had sprung for the special edition, but not every book needs a special edition, especially on release. So I decided to go with the standard paperback. And then, of course, I continued. I said I was going to do this in my last book haul, and I did. I picked up books 8 and 9 of 1,000 Li by Tao Wang. This is The Third Realm and The Third Cut. I'm still making my way through this series. It'll be probably 5 or 6 months before I'm even to these, but I am enjoying my time with the series. Then, of course, I fell in love with Ray Bradbury last month. And it was hard to not just go out and start buying tons of Ray Bradbury. I limited myself to this Barnes & Noble kind of collection edition. It's got The Martian Chronicles, The Illustrated Man, and The Golden Apples of the Sun. It's a very nice edition, very affordable. Everything else was like in the realms of like the 150s to like 200s. And I wasn't quite willing to drop that kind of kizash on Ray Bradbury quite yet, but I do have this now, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. And then I went on a mini vacation with my wife last weekend, and there was a couple bookstores there. And in those bookstores, I found J.V. Jones, The Barbed Coil. I've not read any J.V. Jones, but I have J.V. Jones on my shelf. I know people who love J.V. Jones, and this was basically like mint condition, and I decided to pick it up. I have no idea what it's about, but the cover art is just super cool. Like, look at this, like, troll-looking dude. And they, like, Mylar wrapped all of their hardcovers at this bookstore. I did a small short on it. I think it was, like, Hyde Brothers is what it was called. Very cool. I needed a map to get around that bookstore. And then in that bookstore, they had Janie Wirt's Fugitive Prince. And you're saying, but Andrew, you already had Janie Wirt's Fugitive Prince. What are you doing? Well, this one was basically, like, mint condition, other than slight yellowing on the pages. I don't think this copy's ever been read. And so I decided to list that one on Pango, or my old one on Pango, and then get this one because of reasons. And then while I was there, I decided to go to a half-price books. Because, you know, how could I not? There was a half-price books that I had never explored before. And they had 3 books that I wanted to add to my collection. And I know what you're saying, Andrew, you're not going to like Brent Weeks. Well, I've liked what I've read of Brent Weeks. I read the first 2 Lightbringer books, and then I just never continued the series for some weird, odd reason, which I've been meaning to do at some point in time. But because, like I said, I've been liking assassin fantasy, they had the new editions of Night Angel on the shelf, but they only had books 2 and book 3. So that's Shadow's Edge and Beyond the Shadow. So I've got the first book on my Amazon wishlist. Once I'm off my book buying ban, I will go ahead and pick that up so I can start this series. I like the way Brent Weeks writes, and so I'm optimistic that I'm going to like this. I'm thinking more Mistborn, closer to the YA spectrum of assassin fantasy, but at the same time, I'm still very, very intrigued and very excited. I blame Tori for my love of assassin fantasy. I don't know why, but it just feels right to blame Tori for this. So I'm sorry, Tori, but you're being blamed for my love of assassin fantasy. I hope you're happy. And that's Tori from Tori Talks. Totally subscribe to her channel. She's fantastic. And then I picked up a Robert Jordan book. Now, this was probably a mistake. But this is Robert Jordan writing as Reagan O'Neill. And he did 3 historical fictions in this trilogy set in, I believe, the American Revolution or something like that. A novel of the American Revolution. There we go. And this is The Fallen Blood. Now, there's 2 other books in this. And I saw the Darrell K. Sweet cover, and I was like, oh, cool. I hope they all look like that. And then when I got home, because I realized this was book 1 and that it was a series, I thought it was a standalone. It's not. And the other 2 have different style of cover art, and I'm very torn up about it, and I'm not happy. I mean, I am happy because Robert Jordan's one of my favorite authors of all time, and so I'm excited to read something kind of non-fantasy from him, even if it is like historical fiction. I do like historical fiction. It's Robert Jordan. Why wouldn't I want to give that a shot? So we've got this one right here. I'd never seen it in physical copy before. It was in my face. I had to buy it. And then I did something at the end of a couple months ago, and it took a while to get here because it ships from the UK. And that's from Discworld Emporium. And I've been wanting to get back to Discworld. You know, I didn't quite love the Death Collection or the Witches, the later Witches book. Like, I liked the first couple, but the last, 2, well, I think I read 1 after the first 2. I read the third Witches book, and it wasn't quite my thing. And I decided I wanted to get the Industrial Revolution collection in the hardcover edition. So fingers crossed this doesn't bite me in the butt. But I got Making Money. Gorgeous, gorgeous, just gorgeous editions. Now these, I believe, are paper bound. They're not cloth bound, but they're fantastic. Yeah, it says right here, Discworld, the Industrial Revolution collection. If you're not buying from Discworld Emporium, it's fantastic. They bang up the box a little bit and stick like Angmor port stickers all over it. And then they put in like a Thieves Guild receipt saying your package has been opened, and they just left some stuff in there for you, and it's whatever you ordered. But like, I love how on brand Discworld Emporium is. I got Raising Steam, and I just love the train on here. I like the yellow on this. It's just, these books are always so beautiful. I got The Truth, which I've never really heard anybody talk about The Truth, and this is one of the most foiled Discworld books I've ever seen. But just beautiful, beautiful work. William just wants his newspaper to get at The Truth. Unfortunately, everyone else wants to get at William, and it's only the 3rd edition. Fair enough. Of course, I've got Going Postal, which is much thicker than I ever thought it was going to be. But I like how the money is just kind of silvered. Or is that money? No, those are letters. So those are letters, not money. Ignore me! And then I've got Monstrous Regiment. So I've added 5 new Terry Pratchett Discworld books to the collection. I'm very excited. This was a decent-sized book haul, and I'm very happy to just kind of fill in the collection a little bit. I do have to take a pause after this because I did spend more. I bought books when I wasn't supposed to. Basically, I was supposed to be on a book buying ban for like the second half of this month, and because of the trip, I got away with buying like 3 or 4 more books, which is, you know, the Martian Chronicles, that Robert Jordan, and those Brent Weeks. That was during my book buying ban, but because we were on vacation, my wife said, hey, vacation money isn't your saved money. So I didn't actually take from my saved camera money fund. I used vacation money, which is just a thing that isn't a thing, but it is a thing. Like, if you know, you know. Like, there's vacation money and there's, like, your money. It's weird. But, yeah, I am on a book buying ban after this. If you want to send me something, I do have my Amazon wish list linked in the description box down below. If I receive enough books, I will do a book haul next month. If I don't, that is perfectly fine. You don't have to send me anything. It's always appreciated if you do. But again, it's always just a, hey, thank you for making content. And I'm always, thank you for sending me stuff. But that's all I really got for you today, guys. I feel like the last 2 minutes I've just been rambling. Till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.